Hi everyone, thank you for watching my video so far. Please make sure you subscribe. It does make a huge difference if you do. It will help the channel to grow and to reach out more people. Thank you. Hi Claire, thank you for being here and doing this interview. You are a musician, a teacher, and being diagnosed with dyslexia. Tell me about it.
I don't know which one to start with. So I found out, let's start with the dyslexia. I found out I was dyslexic at the end of the first year of my degree. And I was very late. I was, 22, 23 at the time. And basically, it was a performance degree, but everything that was written was failed and everything that was performance was passed with flying colours, and there was this massive juxtaposition. And one of my teachers said, okay, I think we've got an issue here. And she said, phone this number, go, I'm pretty sure you're dyslexic, let's go and sort that out. And then from then on, I was on this like massive journey. It was really hard. I had to get 5 jobs to keep myself afloat because all my funding stopped. Then I had to, part of the university's prerequisites was that I had to take part in this educational psychology learning styles course. Well, it was a double, so it was a whole year. And I found it fascinating. And we basically studied cognitive educational profiling. So understanding how somebody absorbs information so that then I could understand how I absorbed information so that then I could complete my degree, which makes perfect sense.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how does dyslexia affect your brain function and daily life activities?
It's a really hard question to answer because I just do what I do. I know that I'm quite weird for most people. I'm not the normal.
I mean, as well.
So I do struggle with comprehension and reading and writing and trying to get my thoughts down on a page. I have been tutored in like how different like mind mapping and strategies that would help me with that. And I often read things and misunderstand things. So I have to like really take my time when I'm reading something and break it down. Does that answer your question?
Once you say to me that your brain works more on sound and picture, and I just love this. Can you just explain a bit more?
Well, the idea behind different learning styles is that everybody absorbs information either through their fingers, their eyes, or their ears. It's basically what it is. And then processing that information is done in a different way. You either process inwards, where you'll sit and think about stuff, or you process outwards, where you need to talk to people about things. And bouncing those ideas off people, you need that soundboard. So what I did was to learn how to recognise those traits and to see, as a teacher now, what I do is I think, okay, what am I trying to get into this person? How do I break that down into a way that they understand?
Does it mean that you struggle to read and write?
Yeah, but I have quite a few strategies to help me with that.
Which ones, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I use a lot of brainstorming, a lot of mind maps. I use, for spelling, I use my watch a lot.
Okay, so do you have any spelling app on your phone?
No, I just ask,
Okay, how is
how
spelled?
do I spell
Okay.
receipt? And then it will tell me.
And it will say out loud. Yeah. Oh wow, that's cool.
It's really cool.
That's cool. I didn't know it was a thing.
This has got me out of so many holes.
Oh wow.
So I'll stop it now. So yeah, I use that. I'm aware of what my weaknesses are. And so then what I do is try and work towards that, and put strategies in place. And everybody's different. So yeah, it's a whole mixture of things, and every situation's different as well. So sometimes I use the same thing time and time again. Sometimes I receive an email and I read it and I go, okay, and then I walk off and think about it, and then I come back and read it again. And I read it like 5 times before I actually respond properly.
Is hyperactivity part of the picture?
Oh, totally. I'm so hyperactive. I must spend at least 30% of every day just controlling my energy levels and making sure that I'm not going like this all the time. It's really hard. That's the biggest part of my job, I have to say.
Before this interview, we talked over the phone. You explained how you found out having hearing loss at 5 years old. Is there any misconception about being a musician with hearing issues?
Oh, totally. It's really interesting, and it actually irritates me quite a lot. If you see an optician wearing glasses, you don't think about it twice. If you see a dentist with a filling, you don't say, oh, they're a rubbish dentist. But if you see a musician who's got hearing issues, they go, oh, well, you can't be a good musician, or you can't do it, which is so annoying. Wrong.
That's a good point.
I have to wear my hair down to cover my hearing aids.
Do you use any hearing aids?
Oh, yeah.
Like on daily basis?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I couldn't function without them.
Let's talk about your school.
Right.
Could you name your school in case someone is interested and they want to look it up?
Yeah, so my company's called Melody Makers, and we're based in Collier's Wood, and we teach piano and guitar and ukulele and bass. And my specialisms are early years, and I do a lot of work with children and adults with special needs.
I understand that you teach both adult and kids, either neurotypical and with special needs. Yeah. What's your teaching approach to unlock the full potential of each of them?
Well, it's not one answer, is it? It's one of these things where it's about having a good grasp on the need, and then thinking, I have my teaching kind of framework of what I want to do. I have like the pulse development, rhythm development, note recognition, sight reading, different styles, how that all applies to each other. And then what I do is I have the person and I almost think about moving them through that and talking to them. So if I've got a person with, who perhaps I have a little boy who's quite hyperactive. Okay. So the first 5 minutes of our class, I always put on aromatherapy and I keep a nice routine. And the first 5 minutes, I just ask him about his day and I let him get all his energy out. And then after a while I go, all right, let's do some clapping. Let's do some rhythms. Let's play a game. And then because we have the same routine, that works really well for him. With a lot of adults, I end up doing a lot of therapy. Okay. Like, tell me about your week. Are you okay? And then I try and do something musical that will adhere to that and support them with that. You know, if they've had or if you've got, say you've got a child who's got exams this week, so that week they only get easy homework. And I really encourage them to think about how they learn. So you know how a school will say, study for 20 minutes and then have a break, and then study for 20 minutes and have a break. So I say, in that break, go and play your piano. Even if you're playing stuff from 2 years ago, and even if you're playing it badly, I don't really mind, it's fine. But just enjoy playing. And that's where the therapeutic side of music is absolutely fascinating. I'd love to explore it more.
That's interesting. And would you define your own school as an inclusive place where differences within people is seen as a positive outcome?
Definitely. And it doesn't matter where a person's from, who I deal with the person in front of me, not a tick box. I'm not. Do you know? It's really hard to it's really hard to express, but I try and see people as people, you know, and accept them for who they are. Because isn't that what we all want?
Definitely,
we all just want to be listened to. We all want to be understood. It's kindness, isn't it? It's really important.
Have you ever considered starting off music therapy in order to help out more students?
Yeah, actually, I'm talking to a local people who run a children's charity with a view. It's hard because on one level I need to pay my bills and I need to work, and then on the other level I'm really passionate about what I want to do and I want to give something back and I want to use my skills for good, so to speak. So I'm trying to set up to do some volunteering, to go to a local children's charity that are like in Wimbledon Merton. They're like borough-wide and they go in and support children who are going through a hard time.
When you say hard time, what kind of situation you will be dealing with?
Some of it's to do with their emotional needs. Some of it maybe they've lost a parent. Maybe they're a child in foster care system. Maybe they've got special needs and being in the classroom all day is just too much for them. It's like especially if they're on a wheelchair, you know, they've got complex needs. Sometimes the classroom isn't the right place for them if they're all running around. Do you see what I mean? So it's, yeah, lots of different needs. Some of it's to do with like neurotypical, they might be dyslexic, they might have ADHD, they might have autism, there's so many variations thereof, you know. If you call it ASD, the autistic spectrum, that's kind of covers all of them. Some of them might be depressed, you know. It's just about seeing.
And music can play a role with it. You can use music to reach out to them. And that's beautiful.
I think it speaks all languages, doesn't it?
Does.
Yeah,
It does.
It's really, really privileged to be able to.
Let's have some fun. Mm-hmm. I would love to see you playing piano and entertain us with your music.
Right.
I truly believe that music brings people together, and together we go further.
The child I mentioned earlier, who is quite hyperactive, when he comes in, I'll just diddle and ask him about his day and kind of say, well, what have you been doing, and how does that make you feel, and would you like to talk about that? And just see where that gets it. And I just kind of diddle around the piano. Red and yellow, pink and green, purple and orange and blue. Other times, maybe if it's their birthday, I'll say to them, okay, it's your birthday. What style do you want your birthday? Do you want your happy birthday? Do you want it jazz and dramatic? To you, happy birthday to you. Or I might go, right, let's mix it up a little bit and go maybe rock and roll. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Have some fun that way. In summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy is rich, and your mama's good looking. Hush, little baby.